Hey, welcome back to Freedom Algo. So I am not in my home office today. I'm traveling for for basically this whole trading week, and then Monday I'll be out because I'm traveling that whole day. So this week I'll be in a different spaces during some of these calls. But basically right here, or some of these videos, sorry. So right here, what you can see is we have this big range, and we just haven't quite made our way up to these highs. This white line was the close from last time that I was thinking we would fill that gap. And it looks like we tried to, and then we failed. And so we have these, with the way that the market's moving right now, it's really odd because it's kind of like a range day, but it's very mixed. We had this little wider channel. We did get a break and then move to a new high, so that did play out. Um, we had these measured legs earlier that came down, and then we kind of bounced from there. So just not a whole lot though here to go off of because we keep getting these sporadic moves that look like this one right here. And unfortunately, there's just not really very many trade setups. So that just happens sometimes, like the price action was doing what I thought, but you can't just take trades because it's doing what you thought. You have to have like good signal bars and all that if you want to have a high probability win rate. If you just wait for a trend to break and you take the reversal, it will work a lot of the time, even on a bad signal bar, but it's not the best move. It just really isn't. So I'm going to draw this down here because I'm thinking there's a possible downtrend channel in play. I just was seeing that we're getting these lower highs and lower lows, and it does fit really nice there, and it looks like it's confirming here. So let's actually take a look at this and see. I have these levels that were kind of previous areas of possible support and resistance, but we don't need to look at that one. Honestly, we don't even really need to look at this one. This was just a basic range because we're just all chopping around within this major range. So I have this big range drawn. And here, let's just go over here and talk about the couple of trades that are here while that's forming. So basically what we have here from earlier today, there was all this price action in here, and it was just really just not very good. It was kind of slow. There wasn't really any setups, unfortunately. The second entries just weren't happening. Finally, over here, you do get this new low, and then you have a pullback first entry short, pullback second entry short with a really bearish bar. You got plenty of room to the EMA. It's looking like a double top from that level. It's not a triple test, but it is a second entry short. It is rangy. It does look like, this bar engulfs the one next to it, which is nice. You can't enter it on the engulfing bar, even though that is somewhat bearish. I waited for it to close and then entered, and just a little scalp there. There's a lower high, but the lower high wasn't bearish enough. I was hoping that we'd actually get a bearish lower high because I got filled right here, and I wanted to enter again, but I just didn't get a bearish enough bar, so I had to just let it go. So unfortunately, I didn't get a runner there, but I did get a nice scalp. After that, you actually get a first entry, second entry long, and I tried to take this trade, and I didn't get my order filled. The way it opened and moved, it just didn't fill my order fast enough, and then when it came and made the matching low, I stayed out. It ended up being fine, but it just wasn't really perfect. It would have worked if I did get in that trade, and that's why we put our stops one tick below the bar because I would have been safe there, but it was getting too sideways after that move and it started to look too congested, so I didn't want to enter on a limit order after I didn't get filled anyway. Then we had this up channel. We got a close outside and a new high. I was looking for a short here because you actually have a first entry, second entry short, but the bar wasn't bearish enough, so I was hoping we'd get a lower high, and then of course we didn't. So that happens sometimes as well. Okay, so let's take a look here. So this could be a little bit wider. We do actually have a first entry, second entry short that triggers there and fails. And then you get another low here, and this is also looking like a first entry pullback, second entry long that fails. So this is sort of like a double trap type of setup happening here. It's not great. It's too sideways. You can't really take anything here. The failed second entry long might have been a play, but I just don't think that you can really take a trade there and have it be a very safe outcome. So you kind of just have to stay out, and that's just what it is today. There's just not really any setups, unfortunately. I had those two setups, only one really good trade so far today, but I'm actually about to head to New York City for the day, so I'm going to be wrapping up a little early. So I can't really hang out and wait for better setups. And again, like even though this short might have worked, I don't think it's worth it because after you get a first entry, second entry that fails, and then you don't know that this is going to be a failed second entry long either. So I just don't think that it's very good. This trend channel that I thought was in play, like right here, doesn't look that good because then that closes out. And so, maybe you could argue that the trend is more like that. And it does fit, but I don't really know. I mean, like these wider channels are unreliable on a range day a lot of the time. And so you kind of just have to play it out. And you are thinking we're going to get a new high on the short-term channel, and there it goes. So as you can see, like all those failures, it was just too congested to take anything there. I think we can rule out the wider channel. And, it's just unfortunate just the way that this day's set up. But that's okay. We're going to have days like that sometimes, and it's just such is life. It's fine as long as you're patient. I'm sure some other setups will present themselves pretty soon here. And yeah, I'm on East Coast time, so I'm trading a little bit different right now, different time zone. So anyway, that's it for the day. There's just not really anything else to really take here. So I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm just gonna say that I will see you tomorrow.